Hey everyone, it's Eric Songer with you, and here's what's happening in the Chaska Middle School West Band Department for February 17th, 2019. And it's been a wonderful week of music and festivals and time together this past week. Three big events going on this past week, starting as we go back all the way back to Saturday, February 8th. We had our District 112 Jazz Festival, February 9th, and it featured the one and only Grace Kelly, an incredible saxophone player from New York City, who came in to work with our students and perform. She was just wonderful, so nice to the kids, had some incredible feedback that was right at their level, and she worked with all of our District 112 jazz bands. And then the evening concluded with a concert where she was featured with our adult big band, and she just knocked our socks off with her singing, with her saxophone playing, with her stage presence. What a wonderful gift that she gave us in music this past Saturday, February 9th. So thank you to Grace Kelly, and congratulations to all of our jazz band kids at Chaska Middle School West and throughout the district on just doing a wonderful job and performing at a high level and learning a lot about jazz music and just learning about the power of music at the Jazz Festival. And a big thank you to Mr. Swanson, band director at Chanhassen High School, who arranged having Grace Kelly out, and also a big thanks to Mr. Bessler and Mr. Beckler from Chaska High School for all your work in coordinating the event as well. It was a wonderful day. And then a few days later, we had our annual garage band country band tour to three places. We played last Wednesday at Carver Elementary School, Gustavus Adolphus College, and the Garage in Burnsville. And once again, just an amazing day of music. Huge shout out to our garage band and country band kids on an awesome job and an amazing tour. And a big thank you to Carver Elementary School, a big thank you to David Stamps and Gustavus Adolphus for having us out, and a huge thank you to Jack Cole Williams and the Garage for having us out there as well. We just had a wonderful time making music and rocking. It was fun watching the looks on the faces of all the students at Carver Elementary, as well as all the students at Gustavus Adolphus College, and then everyone who showed up at the Garage. And we got to share the Garage concert with the high school garage bands, which, by the way, also had a performance last Sunday out at Tuttle's and Hopkins, and will be performing again this coming Tuesday night. And they'll be at Vic's from, I believe it's 7:30 to 9:30 at in Victoria. So just a wonderful time to perform with them, and I'm just so impressed with the level of musicianship and the level of stage presence that our students have in those garage bands and country bands. So, and the sad part is that was the end of our season. The exciting part is in just a few weeks we will start up with our pop ensemble and also our Chicago Spring Garage Band program. So it's really not really an end, it's just a transition into a new type of experience coming up for a lot of these students. So that was cool. And then another great experience just this past Friday, we had one of our students, Gordy Moline, participate in the State Honor Jazz Band at the Minnesota State Music Conference at the Minneapolis Convention Center on February 15th. And a huge congrats to Gordy as he performed with the All-State Jazz Band and sounded amazing on the drum set. And the whole band was just killer. Jana Meckler was the director, and she picked some great music, and the band was having a lot of fun and really clicking on all cylinders. And also right after that, the 910 State Honor Jazz Band, featuring one of our former students, Lily Paul on Barry saxophone, also performed under the direction of another incredible person, Scott Agster, and that band also just killing it on this past Friday. So huge congratulations to all of those students. And then we had another big announcement happen this last week. We have three students from Chaska Middle School West who were chosen to perform in the State Honor Band in April in Shakopee. So a huge congratulations to 8th grader Barry saxophone player Keegan Cummings and two 7th graders. In fact, the first two 7th graders to make it from CMSW in my 22 years teaching at Middle School West. So huge congratulations to French horn player Sabrina Olson and bass clarinetist Aaron Seminis, who were both chosen for the band as well. And once again, they'll be performing in the State Honor Band at Shakopee High School, and the date on that will be April 7th at 2 p.m. and they will rehearse all day on Saturday, April 6th in preparation for that. So a really crazy, fun week at Chaska Middle School West with all of those things going on. And now we look forward to yet another really fun week highlighted by 3 events, starting with actually 4 events, 4 events going on. So let me just go through those real quick. So the first one is actually one that I don't coordinate, but it's coordinated by one of my colleagues, Eli Johnson, who is the choir director at Middle School East and Chanhassen High School, and he is the director of our middle school musical, which is Shrek, and Shrek will be running this coming Thursday through Sunday at Chanhassen High School, and it will be featuring students from all 3 of our middle schools in District 112, and you can catch it, I don't have the exact times in front of me, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, as well as a Saturday and Sunday matinee. So Shrek will be running, so that's the first thing to come out and see. The second thing coming up this week is our annual 6th grade band tour. All 3 of our 6th grade bands will be going on tour this Friday, and the date on that, is February 22nd, and we will be touring to 3 schools. And I want to make a clarification that on our permission slip, we actually have the times of 2 of the schools mixed up. So the correct schedule looks like this. We'll be performing at Clover Ridge Elementary School at 9:30 in the morning and going till a little bit before 10, and then we'll be going over to La Academia Elementary School at 10:45 and performing for, again, about 25 minutes, and then we'll be going out for lunch, and after our lunch we'll be going over to Bluff Creek Elementary School, where we'll be performing from 1:30 until a little bit before 2 in the afternoon. So those are the 3 schools that we'll be performing at, and the correct time, so apologies that the permission slip, and actually I think the website too had those times incorrect. It's all updated now and correct. And for the 6th graders going on that tour, the things to remember to bring / wear next Friday is obviously your instrument, number 1, your music, number 2, money for lunch or a bag lunch, and I would suggest $10, maybe $15 if you're a hungry person at lunch to bring next Friday. 4th thing is, if you have one, a fold-up music stand would be great if you could bring that. We're going to need about 40 or so students to bring fold-up music stands for that. And then to remember to wear your music shirts along with any pair of pants that you want, and a suggestion to bring your coat, because it's winter, so bring your coat on the tour. And then we talked a lot about this past week, and we'll continue to talk about the logistics and being professional and making sure that we are taking care of the non-performance related things that are associated with this tour, as well as being prepared musically and performing at a very high level. So 6th graders really looking forward to that trip on Friday, February 22nd. The next thing, the 3rd thing, is we have an after-school party on that same day, Friday, February 22nd, and that will be for our garage band and country band groups as we celebrate the end of the season, like I already mentioned, and that will be after school on Friday from 3:45 until approximately 4:30. And in addition to having some food and just some time to chill out, we're going to have an open jam session where we can just jam along to whatever songs we want to play, preferably on the instruments that you play, but maybe you play another instrument at a somewhat high level or somewhat okay level, and you can just go ahead and jam along with us there at the jam session. And finally, we have another honor band experience coming up this Saturday, February 23rd. It's the MBDA South Central Regional Honor Band, and we have 7 students performing on that. Let's see if I can rattle them off here without looking at a list. We have 1 8th grader, and that is Abby Owusu, and she will be playing the Abby plays the bass clarinet. Actually, no, we have a lot of 8th graders. Abby's just one of them. We also have Anna Holk, who will be playing oboe, and we have Max Bryan, who will be on bassoon, Jennifer Mang on the flute. We have 2 clarinet players, Audrey Armstrong and Hope Greer. And then we have 1 7th grader on French horn, Sabrina Olson. So those 7 students will be performing at the Regional Honor Band in Mankato. It's at Mankato West High School this Saturday, February 23rd. I believe the check-in starts at 8:30 in the morning, and it goes until 5 p.m. And there's a concert that's open to the public that starts at 4 p.m. at Mankato West in their auditorium. So congratulations to those 7 students. So another great week of activities coming up. Now, just kind of in general, our regular operation, Um, this week we do have a day off on Monday for President's Day, but Tuesday will be a B day, Wednesday, Thursday, regular block days, and then Friday will be an A day. And hey, check this out. We actually have all three win times this week. That is amazing. So we will meet with all three of the win ensembles this week as we prepare for a trip coming up. So make sure all win ensemble students, you are working on your music and you come in ready to go and prepared for our rehearsals this Wednesday and Thursday for win ensembles. We do have our regular band lessons and bonus lessons this week, with the exception of Monday, so we will not have the guitar, piano, four mallets, or music technology lessons, which usually occur on Monday. We will not be able to have those this week, but we'll have all the other bonus lessons and regular band lessons this week. So that's cool. All right, so moving on to just kind of looking ahead to some other events that are happening after this week. It's a busy time. We have another really busy, fun week coming up as we approach the end of February and the first week of March. March 2nd, we have two events going on. We have the jazz band trip for 7th and 8th grade jazz bands to the University of Minnesota Jazz Festival. We'll be meeting that morning at 8 a.m. and getting back at about 4:30-ish to Chaska Middle School West. We'll be performing, both jazz bands will be performing at Ted Mann Concert Hall, the 8th grade jazz band at 10, and the 7th grade jazz band at 11. And then we'll also be listening to a couple other bands, including Pioneer Ridge and East, going out for lunch on campus. So you'll want to bring some money to eat lunch on campus. I believe it's somewhere between $10 and $15, and you're going to want to bring cash for that. You cannot use a check or a credit card, so make sure you bring cash. And then after we're done at the university, we're going to go over to Sky Zone in Edina and do a little jumping and do a little playing at that really fun place over there at Edina. So yeah, and that is that costs money too. And so as far as going, you need to return the permission slip I gave you and $14, and that will cover your Sky Zone costs. So that's cool. And then also that same day is the Tri-State Honor Band in Decorah, Iowa, and that will be involving again a lot of our students. That's the one that's one 8th grader who's Abby on bass clarinet, and then we have several 7th graders, Olivia Howman on the flute, Caitlin O'Donnell on clarinet. We have two trumpet players, Lily Oz and Karina Coppersmith. We have Roisin Curley on trombone and Josiah Faber on percussion. So they will all be attending that Tri-State Honor Band on March 2nd. Congratulations to all those wonderful kids. And then the following week, we have a new event. The rhythm section will be, our 8th grade rhythm section group will be attending a recording session at the Garage, the same place we just performed with the Garage and Country Bands this past week. And they will be doing a recording session from 9:30 in the morning until 12:30 in the afternoon, and that's actually a day that there's no school. It's a workshop day for teachers. We will also be meeting that morning at 8 a.m. at CMSW. We'll be busing down there. I'll be driving the minibus, ladies and gentlemen. The minibus returns, and so we'll be doing that and getting back. Well, after the recording session, we'll go out for lunch, and then we'll get back probably around 3 p.m. to CMSW. So that's the recording session for the 8th grade rhythm section. And then another great event is on Friday, March 8th. We're going to be going to the Mall of America with all the wind ensembles, the 7th and 8th grade wind ensembles, and we'll be performing on the first level of MOA over on the northeast corner of the mall. I never remember all the stores over there, but I know there's a Cinnabon because you can smell Cinnabon the whole time we're performing. So it's first level, northeast corner, and we'll have all the Win 1 groups plus Varun 5 and just a bunch of 7th graders playing at the first session, which will be from 10 till 11:15 a.m. And then all the other groups, the other Win 2 groups and all the Win 3 groups will be performing from 11:45 in the morning till 1 p.m. during that session. And all the kids in that first session will, in addition to performing, will be watching the other groups they're with. And then all the groups in the second session will be performing and watching the groups in that second session. And the rest of the time is the time that you'll have to make sure you get something to eat and you can hang out at the mall. So that will be on Friday, March 8th. And again, there's a permission slip that needs to be returned. And I'm very, I'm not going to say desperate, but I really, really need chaperones for that trip because I want to have chaperones hanging out with all the kids at Mall of America for safety reasons. So if you can chaperone, strongly consider that and join us for that trip on Friday, March 8th. So I want to talk about a couple other things coming up too. We have a couple after school classes starting up in March that are super cool. We have the Pop Ensemble, which will be on Fridays starting on March 8th and running through the end of May. And it will meet from 3:40 to 5 p.m. What the Pop Ensemble does is it's a performance-based group that plays all current music and learns about current music. And we have students create tracks for that group that we play along with, just a lot like popular music does today. But we also need people who play drum set, bass guitar, piano, and sing. So if you are interested and you have a year or more experience on one of those instruments I just mentioned, then come join us. It's going to be a great time. We will perform this year at the Taste of Chaska in downtown Chaska at City Square Park by the gazebo. And that performance will be on Wednesday, May 8th, when hopefully there's no more snow on the ground and it's nice and warm, and it'll be probably around 5 p.m. And then also we'll do a performance on our last day, which I believe is May 24th, just in the band room, and you can come watch us if you're available. The other group starting up is our mariachi band, and that will be on Mondays after school from 3:45 to 4:30, and that's starting up on Monday, March 11th, and running through Monday, May 6th. And the mariachi band learns traditional Mexican music, mariachi music, and we need people who play guitar, trumpet, violin, viola, cello, people who want to sing, and we also will take students who don't have any experience in this group on an instrument, who might be interested in singing or playing guitar or maybe playing some auxiliary percussion instruments. And that group is going to perform on their very last day, May 6th, over at Reyes-Teca Restaurant in Chanhassen. And it's a very fun experience to go play over there. So that's the mariachi band, and you can sign up for both Pop Ensemble and mariachi band at the community education website, CE4All, that's the number 4, ce4all.org. And there's also some sign up forms in the band room that you can grab. So I should mention really quick too, before I move on to some fundraiser information, that we also have the district honor band starting up right after spring break, and we are making decisions on who will be selected for the honor band this week. If your child is interested in being in the honor band, they should let us know here in the next week or two so that we can consider them. It's always a very hard decision to choose the students that make these groups, because we have a lot of great students as far as musicianship. And so sometimes there are students who are really good players who are maybe too busy to be in the honor band. So we're able to go down the list a little bit further. And so it's really good to let us know if you are interested. So if you're kind of in that area where you're on the fence musically, where you're a good player, we want to make sure we know that you are interested, so that'll help us decide that, okay, maybe we should select this student because not only are you good, but you also really want to do it. So anyway, let us know if you're interested in that, and that's for all 3 grade levels, 6 through 8, and those groups will meet on Thursdays after school after spring break in April and May and do a performance, and the 7th and 8th graders also do a tour right at the end of the year. All right. Fundraisers. So for the first time in my 22 years, we're doing some fundraising activities for the bands. And this was mainly started because we're starting to take these trips where students have asked if they can maybe do a little fundraising. And one of those trips is our 8th grade band trip to Eau Claire on May 17th. And it costs $70, and it's a good way to shave some money off of that cost. And not only for the current 8th graders, but for 6th and 7th graders who will be taking that trip next year or in 2 years, you can start making some money to shave the cost off of that trip. The other trip is the garage band members who are going to Chicago in May, and that is a lot more than $75. But if you would like to shave some of the cost off of that, you can also get involved in these fundraisers. And finally, it's just a great way to raise some money for our department. So even if you're not going on those trips, or if the money isn't a factor for you and you'd like to help us raise some money to buy instruments, to buy gear, to buy music, you can get involved in these too. So there's 2 events. The first one is a mattress sale, and the mattress sale is going to be on Sunday, March 17th in the Chaska Middle School West gym from 11 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. And how that works is you can invite anyone that you know that needs a mattress to come check them out that day. And if they decide they want to purchase one, they can purchase one and they can get it delivered to their home a few days later. And there are a ton of different styles and brands brands and sizes of mattresses you can choose from. And for the most part, they're at a discounted price than what you'd find at a mattress store or online, because this company is able to save money by not having a store and not having to advertise. We get to do all the advertising for them, and the store is basically our gym that day. So they're not paying any overhead for that, for those purposes, so they can sell these mattresses for a cheaper price. So if you are interested, there's going to be a parent meeting on Monday, February 25th in the CMSW band room from 6:30 till 7, just a half-hour meeting, 6:30 to 7 at night, and you can get more information on those sales. And we actually get a little money for every parent who shows up. And if you're a parent of one of those kids going on a trip, we'll apply that money to your child's trip. It's not much; it's like $5 per parent. But if you're going on that Eau Claire trip, which is $70, that's a nice percentage that you get to cut off of that. So, so you can come to that and get more information. If you can't make that, you can still come to the sale or invite people to come to the sales. I'll be sending out emails about one a week where you can send an email out to people you know who might want to buy a mattress. You can post on social media. At that meeting, there'll be yard signs that you can get to put in your yard. So there's multiple ways you can let people know about this sale. The other fundraiser is a Chaska Culver's Night, which will be on Tuesday, March 19th from 5 till 8 p.m. And you can come to Culver's that night and just simply do your dinner there, and we'll get a cut of the proceeds. Or if you are a student that would like to help even more and get some money to go towards your trip, you can come and work an hour shift between 5 and 8. You can just let me know what hour you'd like to work, and basically your job is to take the food out to the customers and serve them their food that night. So that's a cool deal too. So that is on Tuesday, March 19th at the Chaska Culver's from 5 to 8 p.m. All right. So that's pretty much everything going on right now. Sometimes I think, boy, we're talking about all these events now. We're in that time of the year, performances, performances, performances. And there are some of you who are just like, you know what? I just want to make sure I'm doing what I need to do to get a good grade in band. Can you just tell me what that is, Mr. Songer? And sure, yeah, just keep coming to rehearsal with your instrument. Take your instrument home once a week at least to practice your band music, and make sure you're preparing it for our concerts that are going to be taking place for the sixth graders. Your tour this Friday, make sure you're working out all those notes. For the seventh and eighth graders, you have tours later in the year, and all three grades have a band concert coming up in the middle of May. So, keep preparing that music. Don't save it till like the night before to start working on those hard parts. And there will be another playing test at the end of the school year too, which will be due near the end of May. And for all three grades, that's just to simply choose a solo out of your solo book. For the sixth graders, that's the Maroon Festival Solo Book. For the seventh graders, that's the Blue Festival Solo Book. And for the eighth graders, that's the White Classic Festival Solo Book. And you just choose a song out of there and you start working on it. And when you're ready, you're going to perform that for Ms. Idell or me, or record it. And just like what we did first semester, and get that done. And by the way, there's still several students that have not turned in their playing test that was due a month ago. So make sure that you are getting that done and getting that in, because it's getting to the point where it's very late now. So make sure that you're getting that in, and that will also help your grade quite a bit if you get that in. So, all right, so there you go. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at CMSW Band, and I'm at Eric Songer, or at Songer Studio. You can also go to Google Classroom to find information like lesson calendars and upcoming events and field trip forms. You can also go to my YouTube channel, where you're here right now, Mr. Songer's channel, and check out what's going on every week on this podcast. You can get texts from me every weeknight about when lessons are coming up and other important things like trips and such. And you can do that by sending the message, the @ 18 band 6, or @18 band 7, or @18 band 8 to the number 81010. And finally, email songeре@district112.org always works, or Ms. Idell's zidellm@district112.org always works as well. So there you go. So get a hold of us. Oh, and the district website too. You can go to cmw.district112.org and then go to the links for the staff and click on my name or Ms. Idell's, and you can check out things going on there too. So, wow, long podcast today, like 25 minutes. I better stop. So anyway, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.